All right, Derek, starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends. I should turn the AC off. Today, and probably over a few days, different shirts and pants and locations in the shop, I'm going to be making a video showing you guys, as much as I can, the process of making one of my bags that I'm working on right now. So I've got a few pieces here. It won't be the total bag that I've got laid out here. I'll show you here in a second. Um, but I've been kind of incrementally putting these together as it is, and we'll kind of go through it. And I'll kind of explain the process a little bit and move through and then show the final result. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Let's do this. All right, so parts of the bag, we got a cool little, this is actually a piece of deer skin there. Nice and kind of oaky, darker. This is elk. Most of the bag's gonna be made out of elk skin. Some of the last elk skin I have left right here. There's the main body bag. As you can see, I kind of sewed in a, I think it's a welt. I can't remember the terminology for it, but a little spacer to protect all the seams from being exposed once I flipped it back inside out. Kind of stiffened it up too. But I like the outline it gave it. It's pretty fun going around. So that's the main body of the bag. Sorry for the weird angle. And then this is the lid that I made. I actually made it a while ago, but I ran out of material, and yeah, so I was waiting for a bag to come along that this would belong to, and now I found it. Once these are all tied together, it's gonna look real nice. So, yeah, I guess next, move over to some sewing. So what I'm gonna do now is punching out some holes for the top of this piece here. So I'll have a punch hole across the top, punch line across the top, and I'll fold that over and match up those holes and then punch the new holes so it will match this one, at least across the top. So I'll just go down the whole line that I etched earlier with my wing divider. You didn't see that part. This guy's my wing divider. So once I cut a clean edge, I set this on and I can just drag this down the edge. So I kind of have one line sitting outside of the leather, riding the cut edge, and then this line scores it. So that's how I consistently get a line around that I can then follow with this guy to punch the holes before I move on to stitching it, because that's fun. Okay. All right, so this is kind of the end result right there, at least with the punch line. So you can see where I zipped right on down this with my punching tool. A hammer. All right, moving on. Here's the final product. Get in there a little bit. See that stitch line? Yeah, that's what hand stitching gets you. Look at that. Clean. So yeah, I don't know if you could tell, but basically I'm weaving in and out both threads. So they're kind of doing this number, snaking into each other. What's cool about it is that on these little loops that you're seeing on each side, if this one gets cut, it's got all these other ones on both sides still running through. So you can literally just run a little stitch like a loop right there, seal off those two broken ones, and then you're good. And then someone could restitch the whole thing to make it match, or you can just go past a few on each side, burn them all down, and you're good to go. Really strong stitch. Takes a long time. machines can't replicate it, and yeah, it looks great. And it's made by a human, which is always the best part, because that's going to be gone one day. Bah! All right, so we have our two smaller pouches, smaller pockets. So they're stitched, so now you can see it overlaid the elk on top of the deer. That's the deer one we just did. So they'll be the outside pocket, they'll be in the inside pocket. And you see I got this overlap here, which is what I wanted. So I'll go back and I'll match up these holes and go ahead and punch them. And then when I start to put everything together, they'll all match up. Since that'll be inside the bag, and the bag will be in between, outside of the bag, and all the holes will match up. So that'll be great. Let's go. All right, another tool on the toolbox I'm going to use is this little hand punch. Sometimes if I'm just doing simple stuff, I'll just go around. I just went through and like marked out, see all the little holes to match them up. So instead of using the hit, I just don't feel like doing it. I'm going to use this guy. And so I'll just go through, punch them holes. Let's play around with some angles. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So I'll do that all the way around. All right. There we have our punched holes. So that's pretty good. Just kind of following it by hand. It's fun. And so those will match up through. And all I have to do is, once I get on the inside, punch those through, and they'll match up with this old boy. Yeah. Cool. I think the lid's next. Possibly. Or the outside pocket. We'll see. Next. All right, so here's the main bag again. So this will be kind of working everything around. So before I move on to the next the big flap guy and doing an edge piece, we're gonna put a front pocket on it too. So what I'm gonna do, kind of similar to the lid, I'm gonna use these deer hide scraps, piece together a cool front pocket to give it that texture right from the front. And they'll kind of layer too, because you'll have the stitching from the big heavy waxed lid, and you'll have the stitching from deer on the front too, so they work together. Whereas the rest of the bag's got a little bit more smooth lines. So yeah, I'll throw this together real quick and we'll get back to it. All right, so we got it cut, stitched together, punched out. Yeah, so that'll be on the front pocket. Or that'll be the front pocket, front of the bag. So now I'll stitch this to this. Here we go. All right, here we are, day 4, 3 or 4, I can't remember which one. We're gonna finish this up. So there's the bag. There's the back of the deer. I'll give you some really good shots later, but so we have our external deer shot, our deer pouch on the back. We've got our external deer pouch on the front. We have our big, nice, oiled and waxed cowhide. I think it's a Kodiak style leather on the top. Elk for the main body. And then there's our secondary elk as well on the inside. So a lot of pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. Pretty good. So now I'll be attaching this. This is a piece of cow. So 2 cow, 1 elk, 2 deer. It's pretty good. As a strap with a gold buckle for adjustment. Yeah, and then I'll cut these as the attachment points. So I'll kind of make these into like little loops and then attach. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But we'll see. Here we go.
Journey instead of just the destination. But let's talk about an example here. Chef RPG is an amazing channel on YouTube. This guy is building a video game. He's an architecture student and he's making a video game that's about...
All right, so I'm going to use this guy here. This is a belt strap cutter. So I'm going to use this to cut the strap to length for the buckle, and I'll attach the buckle to the bag and then run the strap through the buckle so it's adjustable, and then sew the other side to the bag. Okay. All right, folks, we're done. I think probably gotta do something on the front too. Yeah, check it out. There's that buckle, big old stitch line down there. Gotta figure out light, but there's the bag. So I might do a deer antler piece down here. I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll see. This will go into another day. It's like almost 11. I'm pretty tired, so this will turn into a day 5. But yeah, we're pretty close. It's coming right along. It's fun too, because then you make a big mess. You clean stuff up, and you start doing your thing again, and then you make a mess. Cool. All right. Well, on to day 5. Hello, and welcome to day 5. I think, I don't know. Yeah, so we are finishing up this bag. I figured I'd give you a little stitching video. So I'm gonna be stitching this elongated hexagram, the symbol I really like, into the top flap of this bag. And then we'll attach these guys underneath, a little dangle section, and yeah, then it'll be done. Cool. So I'm gonna do some red stitching on that. I'm just gonna stitch by hand. You know, like always. Dip. Switch it out for black. I think that'll look better. Tools. Let's try that IG stuff.